Ron, who's your power ranking?
So not much has changed. I have Detroit at number 1. So I'm going to keep them there for a while until they lose. I moved Buffalo into number 2 with Baltimore losing. I got Kansas City at number 3, so I have them right where they're at. I moved Pittsburgh to 4, Baltimore to 5, Philly at 6, Green Bay at 7. The Chargers, I moved them into my top 10 all the way to number 8. Minnesota at 9, Washington at number 10. So last week I had San Francisco at number 10. I moved them out of my top 10.
Yeah, I went back and forth between Buffalo and Detroit, and then I came with Buffalo as my number 1 team just because I don't like so far the competition that has played against Detroit. I feel like Buffalo has played better teams than Detroit has. But let's talk about the divisional games, and then there's no divisional games for Buffalo that they're not gonna, Green Bay, Minnesota, those are good games. Tell me in the AFC East, who's Buffalo's competition? None.
Nobody right now.
Nobody. So give me Buffalo, Detroit, Kansas City on 3rd, Pittsburgh, I got 4th, Chargers 5th, Arizona.
Why is
6th.
Arizona still in your top 10?
As long as they're leading the division and they're scoring points, I like them better than...
You might as well have Atlanta in there then.
No, I'm not having Atlanta.
But you have Arizona.
Arizona has actual competition in the division. Atlanta doesn't, and they still lose. How is that possible? How is that possible? How is that possible?
But you think so? I mean, I would argue that Washington should be in your top 10. Or heck, I just moved San Francisco out, but I would argue that, those are 2 teams I'd consider over Arizona, even though I know Arizona's, winning the division right now.
Yeah, until Washington actually shows me that they can beat good teams. I think they're like 0-6 now, 0-4 against good teams. So yeah, they're not gonna make my top 10. I got Minnesota, Green Bay, Philadelphia, and Houston is back in. Even though I got them on my 10, they could be 11, but I have Baltimore out. But again, they could be back in.
Baltimore out of your top 10.
Yes.
That's insane.
They just lost.
So what?
And they're not leading the division. Sorry.
They lost to the team that you have ranked 4th.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
So if you rank 4th, doesn't mean you lost by 2 points to a top 10 team. How are you not in the top 10? I'm glad you don't do the college football rankings.
Baltimore Chargers are better. Arizona, Baltimore. I actually think Arizona is better. Minnesota, Baltimore, Minnesota is better. Green Bay, Baltimore, Green Bay is better. Philadelphia. I mean,
you don't believe any of the stuff you're just saying.
You're just mad because Baltimore, it's right there and next to you. Don't be mad. It's okay.
You don't believe anything you're saying whatsoever.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm winning, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm winning because that doesn't make sense. That's why I'm winning.
It doesn't. Your logic makes it. You've had Baltimore in your top 10 the entire year.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No.
I guarantee you've had them in your top 10 the entire year. I guarantee there's not been a week they have not been in your top 10.
They were not there week 8. Oh, no, they were. Sorry. They were there. Week 7. Yep. Week 6. Let's see.
They were not. It is not a week they were not in your top 10. I guarantee it.
Let's see. No, they were there week 6. Week 5. I'm just looking at the spreadsheet right now. They were 10th week 5. Ooh, that was close. Let's see, week 4. Week 4, did they move up? I think they were because they were winning. Nope, they were not there week 4. I knew that they were not. Because they come back and forth. Some weeks they were really good, some weeks they were really bad, and this week they were really bad. I mean, they couldn't score a touchdown.
Who is in your dang Super Bowl?
Not the Ravens.
But they're in your playoffs.
No, actually, I do have the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
So how the hell?
They're just not going to win the Super Bowl. That's it.
How can you have them in the Super Bowl and not be consistently in your top 10?
Well, you have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're in my top 10.
That's why you only have them in your top 10, because you're like, I gotta make this up in case they
They're a
make the
top
Super
10
Bowl.
team. They just lost to Pittsburgh. You have number 4.
They lost to Kansas City.
Another top 10 team. Number 3, you have them ranked.
They lost to Cleveland.
Okay, all right. It's a divisional game. Okay.
I think they lost to Cincy, right? I don't know.
No, they beat Cincy.
They don't have a record that makes me say.
Walk me through the 5 Arizona losses and tell me why they should be in your top 10.
Well, we know that Arizona, that division is better than your division.
It doesn't matter. Walk me through their 5 losses and tell me how that's any more impressive than what Baltimore's doing.
Ron, listen. You can have Baltimore in your top 10. That's your prerogative. That's your prerogative. But right now they're 7-4, and let's see who are the teams that they lost. They lost to Kansas City. They lost to Cleveland. They lost to the Raiders. Okay. They lost to the Raiders. And you want me to crown them in my list?
In your top 10. Why not?
No.
Okay, so do the same now.
Why not doesn't count.
Do the same for Arizona.
And they lost against the Browns, and they lost against the Steelers. That's just not a top 10 team. Sorry.
Give me a break.
Sorry.